Hello everyone and welcome to another video of Reverse. If you don't remember, on the last episode of this series we were playing Showdown in Chinatown and we were basically on the finishing stretch of the event. We got to see Ling Yue, I think, story and all of that stuff. We also discovered that Charles was actually some kind of bandit, I think. Anyways, just go watch the last video if you're confused about the story. Anyways, for today's episode, we're going to continue the main story and see where it goes. Anyways, let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into it.
Tall officer, are you up? I got you guys Chinese food. You must be hungry.
Almost 20 suspects in the holding cell were injured. Most were found unconscious at the scene and are now in critical condition at the hospital. The victims include arcane black market dealer Castor and Chicago gang leader Jason the Coyote, both of whom have since been acquitted of their crimes.
Cameras out of the way! Out of the way! The ambulance needs to come through! We need banana bags stacked! These people could go into shock! Ah, my skin! It burns! Help! Help! Whoever you are who did this, just wait and see! I'll tear you apart, you asshole!
The fire is speculated to have been started by a victim of a night piercer attack who displayed signs of mental instability. At the same time, similar incidents have occurred at the Lieber Street Detention Center and the Chinatown Police Station. The situations at both sites are similarly concerning. It has been reported that the Division of Arcane Affairs is considering the potential connections between these incidents. The mysterious figure behind the unresolved night piercer attacks remains their top suspect. As with the previous attacks attributed to the night piercer, the victims of these incidents are once again notorious criminals with extensive records. However, in light of the night piercer's escalating criminal activities, support for the figure is dwindling as concerns for safety rise. In response to ongoing skepticism regarding the lack of resolution of the night piercer case, Deputy Chief Eldon of the Division of Arcane Affairs stated during the press conference that
Fuck, I pass out for half a day and Chi Shing's already turned the city into her personal playground? Grab your stuff, rookie. We're hitting the road. Gotta find this bitch before she kills someone. What? Your feet stuck to the floor or something?
Deputy Chief Eldon took us off the case. It was an official order.
Early this morning, Constance Scott, A staff member of the Foundation's Arcanum Containment Department was assaulted during an illegal arcane object trade. She's still in critical condition. Forensic Services has confirmed that the arcane skill traces found at the scene of the attack matched those left by the suspect in the ongoing Nightpiercer case. Thanks to Noir and our Vigils cadet Liang Yue, who are both at the scene of the attack, we've been able to confirm the identity of the Nightpiercer. Name's Qi Xing, a 29-year-old former movie actress from Hong Kong. She played the lead role in the Detective CO7 series, where she gained a reasonable amount of fame. She was in a few more movies after that, but no big hits. She officially retired from acting a few years ago. The BAU's come to the conclusion that she's confused herself with her movie character, possibly a result of a mental imbalance caused by the setbacks in her career. She thinks she's the real-life CO7, the hero who fights evil and cares for the weak. In short, we have a vigilante on our hands. Thanks to a minor mistake from the Foundation's Arcanum Containment Department, we also have a dangerous arcane item. A cursed film reel called Reunion of the Three Swallows, somewhere in the city. Liang has confirmed that Constance Scott, the staff member who was assaulted by Qi Xing yesterday, is the perpetrator of the theft. As you're all aware, there's been an explosion in mental disorders in Chinatown. We now know that the source is the cursed film reel. It's currently in Qi Xing's possession, which makes her even more dangerous. Having learned about the history behind this arcane film, we have reason to believe that obtaining it was one of her motives. Since the film's been in her possession, there have been multiple assaults around the city, all matching the patterns of the Nightpiercer. But there's one key difference. This time, the victims all showed the same mental disorder as the victims of the film. We believe that the suspect is able to control the film's power to some extent, and she's using it to commit escalating crimes at a much higher frequency. We need to act before the situation gets out of control. Reinforcements from the Foundation and the Vigils Bureau are already on the way. We will do whatever we can to protect our city before they arrive. James, Carter, I'm putting you on the case. You'll be taking direct orders from me. The rest of you, stick to your posts.
Excuse me, Deputy Chief Alden. I need to ask you something.
I already know what it is.
You and Poitier saw that something was going on in Chinatown and started an investigation yourselves. You found the culprit behind the ACD theft and stopped an assault that could have ended much worse. You've done a great job.
But there's one key thing you failed to do. You had a chance to apprehend the Nightpiercer right then and there, but somehow she slipped through your fingers. According to your report and the witnesses' statements, you failed to summon your legendary beast when you confronted the suspect. As a result, not only did the suspect get away, but your partner sustained an avoidable injury. I need my best, most reliable officers on this case.
Sorry, Liang, but you don't make the cut. The two of you will be excluded from the operation.
This is bullshit! He can't cut us out! This is our case! No! We're doing this!
Calm down, Miss Putty. Even if you feel fine, the doctor said you had to stay in bed for at least a few days.
The name's Poitier, and I'm fine, okay? Stop trying to... Damn it. So what went wrong? How come your friend, Tang Leng was it, didn't show up?
Qiang Liang must have sensed my hesitation and refused my summon. You see, if its master can overcome their selfish desires with an unwavering heart, it can turn on them. Father used to warn me about it. But that won't happen again. I promise.
If you say so. What are you gonna do now?
I'll continue with the investigation. I need to find Qixing.
What? But that angry grandpa already pulled you off the case.
I have to do this.
What for? Because of your duty to fight evil as the master of Qiangliang?
I've always had two things guiding me. My duty as a member of the Liang family and the spirit of CO7. But now, Qian Liang has ignored my summon, and Qixing has turned out to be anything but a hero. They were once the beacons of my life, but not anymore. This could be a setback, yes. Or it could be an opportunity. For the first time in my life, I can think about what I really want without having to consider anything else.
You know what, Rookie? It always grinds my gears when you talk about your duty and all that stuff. But what you're saying now, I like it.
Aren't you going to stop me?
Why would I? It's our case, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with doing our job. If Eldon bitches about it, just tell him you bumped into the crook when you were strolling around the city.
Seriously?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, is there? So what's the game plan, huh? What are you gonna do?
This scene again? They must have done a dozen takes already, right?
Yeah, I'm no movie expert, but even I can tell the actor's nervous as hell.
Of course he is. Anyone would be nervous if they knew a wanted criminal could show up at any time and mess you up with Arcanum. Eldon tried to keep the details of the case a secret, but that director from Hong Kong told her crew about it as soon as she came back. I mean, I guess they have the right to know. And to run. Half of the extras got the hell out as fast as they could. And look at the other half. They're too nervous to work.
I know. Hey, that's the Vigil's cadet, isn't it? What's she doing here?
The officers said you're here to help, is that right? Excellent. We could really use a hand right now. Come, let's get you in costume.
I'm more than happy to help. But first, I have something important to ask you.
Right to the point this time. I see.
I don't think there's any need to tiptoe around each other anymore. Could you answer me directly this time? What happened between you, Qixing, and He Rijun, the creator of Reunion of the Three Swallows? How did she die? Why do you and Miss Qixing both want that film? And why is she doing this?
What do you plan to do with my answers?
To Qixing, I'm probably just another fan. But to me, she and her character mean something. I need to know why. I have to arrest her and find out the truth. Maybe I can still fix things, but Miss Noah, I need your help if I'm going to do it.
You mean you want to know more about her? To peek behind the scenes, learn what really happened behind all the moving magic. I told you it's not a good idea. We create works not just to express ourselves, but to entertain. And when we release them to the public, we open ourselves to all kinds of commentary, whether they be sweet or bitter. But the people behind the characters, behind the production, they are not for entertainment. Their lives are not fiction.
Is that a no?
I haven't finished. Though I don't advocate trying to cross the line between on and off screen, if we cast aside your relationship as fan and actress and treat you simply as individuals, saying I want to know more about you sounds rather beautiful. It's touching, really. I'll answer your questions, Miss Liang. Follow me. Our story began 11 years ago. Life was tough, as it is for all young artists. But, like the beginning of many stories, there was a kind of beauty in it. 又一新浪潮導演處女作亮相，胡圖雖然底子極佳，但由於大膽創新過度，導致內容詭異顛覆。即使業內有讚，但大眾實在難以欣賞，最終票房慘淡收場，實屬糊塗。 咁我仲有咩好講啊？冇 taste 就係冇 taste。OK， 要叫好又叫座，有時係要妥協嘅。但係問題係我一向最唔擅長，亦都最唔中意妥協咯。
Noah？ 係咪 Noah？ 估唔到會咁啱喺度見到你，好耐冇見，見翻你真係好開心啊！
你係 Teresa？ 你點解喺度嘅？你幾時翻香港㗎？ Teresa, or as you know her by 何日君, was a dear friend of mine, the scriptwriter of Detective CO7 and the creator of the cursed film Reunion of the Three Swallows. This is a pretty good script. Interesting. Teresa and I met while we were studying abroad at the Film Academy. We took the same scriptwriting class. We didn't talk much at first. She always sat in the corner on her own. I only got to know her after our teacher showed a script to the class as an example of excellent work. The writer's name, Teresa. Her stories could strike a balance between the details and the big picture. They were engaging, light-hearted, and warm. So, in that moment, when we met again at the restaurant, I realized she was the one I'd been looking for. At that time, she was an editor at a small press. I invited her to join my studio, and 3 months later, she put the first edition of Detective CO7 on my table.
So, 你覺得點啊？你覺得邊度唔夠好嘅話，我都可以改啊。
我諗緊主角要揀邊個？哦，你個劇本寫得好好，比我想象中仲要好。我哋就用你個劇本。So we had the script, but we couldn't decide who would play the heroine. We held endless auditions, even considered some famous actresses, but none of them fit. Until that night.
頭先嗰幾個你覺得點啊？我覺得最後嗰個好似都 OK。
唔得，佢唔夠 sharp。你都睇得出㗎。既然睇得出，就唔好焗住自己揀。我唔想將就。
但係，萬一現實生活裏面根本唔存在呢個完全符合我哋想象嘅完美人選呢？萬一佢只係我哋諗出嚟嘅，咁點算啊？
咁我就會一直揾，直到喺現實世界揾到為止。
哎呀！你喐手腳做咩啊？
我就係喐手喐腳啊！點啊？死鹹豬手！呢度唔歡迎你哋啊！仲唔快啲啦！
你睇住嚟啊！我唔會放過你噶！哎呀，大鑊啦！今次嗰兩個古惑仔附近出晒名，佢哋肯定會翻嚟報仇噶！我知你睇唔慣佢哋對個靚女鹹豬手，但係人哋都唔出聲啦，你嬲咩啫？你咁搞法之後，我點做生意啊？唉，今鋪真係俾你累死啊，阿星！
得啦，事頭，我走。佢哋再嚟就叫佢哋嚟搵我。嗱，鋪頭鎖匙啊，你記得早啲嚟開門啊，唔係啲熟客等到戇居居。
阿星，你，哎呀！
睇嚟你啱啱失業喎。
邊位啊？關你咩事啊？
我有份工介紹俾你，你對做戲有冇興趣啊？Ah Sing was surprised when I made the offer. She said she needed to think about it, so Teresa gave her a copy of the script. The next day, she knocked on our door and took the offer. Later, we learned that Ah Sing was born into a poor family. Her father was in prison, and her mother had mental issues. She'd been the breadwinner for the family since she was a kid. Her father's reputation would often get her into trouble, so usually she was either on the way to a job or to a fight. The CO7 you saw always had a confident smile on her face, but in actual fact, Ah Sing almost never smiled at the beginning. An actor should learn to commit to the moment in front of the camera and come back to reality behind it. But Ah Sing didn't. She didn't come back to reality. She's never once stopped playing the role of CO7 since then. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She started to smile the way CO7 smiled. She went from brash and reckless to sly and methodical, just like CO7. The deputy chief and the BAU made a mistake. Ah Sing has not confused herself with her character. After all these years in the movie industry, I've seen a lot of actors get carried away by the glitz and glamour of their characters. But Ah Sing is different. She values CO7 even more than herself. So much so that, ultimately, it eclipsed her own consciousness. Miss Liang, you asked me which rumors about CO7 and the three of us were true. Now I can give you an answer. Most of them were.
Is this...
We drew a lot of attention after the release of CO7. Put a magnifying glass up to anyone, and you'll always find imperfections. We were no exception. Ah Sing was as stubborn and uncompromising as I was. When we disagreed, it would blow up into a huge argument, neither one of us giving in to the other. Poor Teresa was always caught in the middle. I was too young, too bullheaded, to realize the consequences that this might cause. I tore a path forward, often ignoring the people around me. Teresa, on the other hand, was kind-hearted, perhaps too much so. She never got angry, no matter what people said. She just bottled it up inside and let it eat away at her. She didn't like taking photos. She was self-conscious about her appearance, so we only have a few together. This one was taken when we were shooting CO7 too. We were so close back then. Of course, we knew we'd have to part ways eventually, But we didn't concern ourselves with that. Even then, our shortcomings had started to hurt our relationship. But by the time we realized it, the damage had been done.
唔得，呢個結局太離譜啦！司靈真唔會咁做噶。
When we were making CO73, Ah-Seng was up in arms about the ending. In the sequence, CO7 tracks a criminal through a Shehua parade, hoping to finish him off herself. But when she finds him sitting at home with his family, she changes her mind. Ah-Seng didn't like it. She said that CO7 would punish the villain for what he's done, that she would never change her mind. We had countless arguments over this ending, and of course, we never reached a conclusion.
得啦得啦，到此為止，我哋咁嘈落去都冇意義。我有個提議。
So I cheated. Were I in the same position now, I'd solve the problem more delicately. But I was a jerk back then. The only thing that mattered was the movie. I couldn't care less about what people thought, including my heroine. I asked Teresa to write an alternative ending, and told Ah-Seng that we'd shoot both endings and pick the better one together. She agreed.
But you didn't keep your word. You released the movie with the original ending.
It turned out to be very popular, but Ah-Seng saw it as a betrayal. At the premiere, she announced she was quitting the new art company that the three of us had founded together. I didn't stop her. Teresa tried to mend our relationship, like she always did.
我寫咗個新劇本，唔係C07續作，係全新嘅故仔啊！如果你哋覺得有意思嘅話，我哋下一部戲可以拍佢啊！我自己拍咗部片花，雖然好簡單，可能拍得唔係幾好，但係可以嘅話，我哋一齊睇啊！
It was her proof of concept for reunion of the three swallows. I knew Teresa had always wanted to put an end to the CO7 series and write something she was really passionate about. Perhaps she thought a new story would help Ah-Seng move away from CO7 and become herself again. Unfortunately, when she came to show us the script, Ah-Seng and I were in the middle of a fight.
唔使啦，我唔會再同你哋拍戲。
阿星，等陣啊
Ah-Seng had always been kind to Teresa, but on that day, she pushed her out of the doorway and stormed off. Well, as I said, I was a jerk. I flipped through her script, and a flurry of harsh words left my mouth. 點解仲係上次嗰個類型㗎？我咪講咗咯，呢種故事唔啱你寫啊！ In the end, neither Ah-Seng nor I cared enough to watch Teresa's sizzle reel, even though she tried so hard to present it to us. That was the last time we saw Teresa.
That fire.
Yes, that's why I'd pay any price to get that film. Her script was burned to ashes in the fire. I need to know what story she was trying to tell. I suppose Ah-Seng feels the same. This is what you wanted to see, Last time you and your officer friend visited me.
You mean the threatening letter?
It's not a letter, actually.
It's the script of Detective 071.
The original. The one Teresa handed to us in all those years ago.
Is this a poster of the Shehe parade? Oh, right. It's almost time for the Dushu festival. With everything going on these days, I almost forgot. Wait, is Miss Qixin going to...
Your guess is as good as mine.
So yeah guys, that was it for today's video, and of course we just had to have a sad emotional moment. I mean, there's always this type of moments in this game, and I think they do a great job at showing like the human emotions, or at least the social interactions between people. Anyways, if you liked the video, maybe consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel, as it helps me a lot with my motivation. Anyways, I will see all of you on the next episode.